I don't know what you're all doing here, all assembled in this tiny little street. It's going to be great, the unveiling, I think. The very first blue plaque to be unveiled was Lord Byron, just off Cavendish Square. And he was mad, bad, dangerous to know. What more can I say? Look at these three. Right, how fitting. Mad, bad, dangerous to know. This is the latest blue plaque, which is amazing. And what is funny, you know, I was just thinking about Lord Byron. We all know the name. We all know that he's a colossus in history and what have you, literature. And yet, how many of his poems can you name? Against how many songs by Stock Aitken Waterman can you name? I think Lord Byron comes second on that one, to be honest. But there are blue plaques in Southwark. There are dozens of them. There are not too many musical plaques. One that is musical, but we wouldn't think with a link with these guys, is at Pete Green's factory. Now a rehearsal studios, and Cliff often rehearses there. So there's a nice link to these guys. But there are just a handful of music plaques they're joining. Anne Shelton has a plaque here. So does Tommy Steele, as the Palladium a few weeks ago. Tommy Steele has a plaque. And also, it's quite interesting because there are not too many people that think that Charlie Drake is a singer, but he had a fine voice. Charlie Drake has a plaque in Southwark as well, and had a few hits. And also, a great songwriter is commemorated here, probably the world's greatest comedian. Also a wonderful songwriter. He wrote Limelight, he wrote Smile, he wrote This Is Your Song for the Judith Art. Charlie Chaplin is another great songwriter like these guys. Only they've had more hits than Charlie, of course, and walk in a more formal way than Charlie does. But yeah, it's amazing that he wrote those songs. So they're joining an elite band here in Southwark. And I'm delighted to say, I was just talking about that number one, This Is My Song. I'd like to say that the guys very kindly gave me a number one. Okay, there were 50 other people on Ferry 8 as well. Nevertheless, despite it was probably wiped actually. So yeah, it is great, you know, back in the day, the big writers in the States, the lovely Lamont Dozier, Holland, into the 60s, into the 70s, and here, their equivalent, Stock Aitken Waterman, the 80s into the 90s, hit after hit after hit after hit, which is why you're all here. So we're going to unveil in a moment. I think Pete wants to say a word or two.
That's a surprise!
Oh, well, I just have something prepared here. Hold on 2 seconds.
I didn't want to say anything at all, other than I'm shocked, and thank you very much, because I'm sitting around the pub thinking, well, if there's anybody turns up, they'll give me a call. I wasn't expecting it, I really wasn't. I don't know whether you guys were, but I mean, this building was a magical building to us. There's so many memories here that, you know, defy me standing here telling the stories, but the most important thing was, this building was special, and it's different now. This area is quite trendy. When we first moved here, this was the worst area in London. You know, we used to have to guide the staff down there at night because there were dead bodies in what we had, and that is not a joke, that is the truth. But it was home to us, and the local community was fantastic. And when we did things like Band-Aid and Ferry Aid, the kids would turn up, and there are some of them here that ended up working for us. It was an amazing community, and you know, the music industry's changed, but thank you for turning up. Woo! Good boy! I just wanted to say that we're doing this, we're happy, mostly the fans that supported us all these years. I'd like to say thank you to the Southwark Borough Council for the work they've done to organise Paul Smith. You can't hear him. Paul Smith. Is he around? Where's Paul? Somebody that is a hand. He got us started over 3 years ago. Tony Keir, where's Tony? He's around, I've seen him. All put the time and effort in, and for our delight and thanks for doing it. I can't really say a lot more other than I'm really happy for everybody, including myself. Say something.
Right, settle down, you're not here to enjoy yourselves. Yes, well, I'd like to say what a terrific honour it is. Why am I filming you when I'm talking? And thank you all for coming, and thank you to Tony for getting this principally off the ground, I think, with the newspaper. And wish you all well and Godspeed. And yes, it was a very special place for us, mainly because I think it was sort of hidden from view and, with parking around the corner. But I think especially because it had thick walls and none of the sound got out and it disturbed the neighbours. So anyway, that's it, and I'll hand you back to Mike now. Thank you very much.
I think traditionally we do a countdown, and the man I think that could do a countdown, I might go out of time, I don't know, but I think Mike Stock is really the man to do the countdown properly, because he likes to do it like that. So if you do the countdown and don't go out of time, okay.
502. No, 110 from 10.
Yeah, from 10, yeah. Yeah, I'll do it when you. Okay, 10.